Good morning and welcome to the Tuesday, June 4th Board of County Commission meeting. Welcome. Today you may notice some Western spirit wear is what I'll call it today here in the audience and up here with your commissioners on the dais. You will see later on in the agenda that we are celebrating our proud Western heritage in El Paso County. So just wanted to welcome you all and let you know that that's what's going on with your commissioners in cowboy hats today. So we do begin each meeting with an invocation, and today we have Pastor Palmer Allen from CSPD. Is Chaplain Allen, thank you so much. Please feel free to join if you would like.
Our most kind and gracious Father, we come before Thee, thanking Thee for this day, for this opportunity to be gathered together with the Board of Commissioners here in El Paso County. We ask that Your Spirit will descend upon us, that those who speak will be heard, and those who are speaking will take the time to listen, that Thy Spirit will give us the opportunity to better not just El Paso County, but each and every one of us that are gathered. May Thy Spirit help us to understand the purposes of why we're gathering, to better not just the community, but to better each other. We give Thee thanks and praise for joy that we have in life, for the ability to rise above the storms that we often face. And as a government body, we know, Father, that there are ups and we know that there are downs, but we also know that with Thee, all things are possible. Give us the ability to always acknowledge Thee in all that we do. Keep us safe in our coming ins and our going outs. Give us the opportunity to make a difference, not just in our lives, but in the lives of all of those who are here, as well as all of the citizens of El Paso County. And we give Thee blessings and praise for the greatest gift, that of Thy Son, Jesus Christ. And may His Spirit guide, direct, and protect in all that we do. And these things we surely pray in His beloved name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Please join Clerk and Recorder Steve Schleicher in leading us in the pledge.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you both. Item number 3.
Item number 3 is staff emergency items, and I'm unaware of any staff emergency items today.
Item number 4.
Item number 4 is changes, postponements, and notice of the next meeting. I'm unaware of any changes or postponements to today's agenda, and the next meeting will be Tuesday, June 11th at 9:00 a.m.
Item number 5.
Item number 5 is a consent calendar consisting of items 5A through 5R6.
Are there any members of the public wishing to speak on any items on the consent calendar today? Okay, hearing none in the room and none online. Commissioners, any comments, questions, and a motion?
I would move approval of the consent calendar.
I'll second.
That has been moved and seconded. Any other comments? Okay, I'll call the roll. Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Vanderwerf.
Aye.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Aye.
Commissioner Geithner.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The consent calendar passes 5-0. That brings us to item number 6.
Item number 6 is the proclamation recognizing El Paso County's proud Western heritage. Logenos Gonzalez Jr., Commissioner, Board of County Commissioners.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I know we have several representatives here for this, if they'd like to come up as I finish. So I move to approve a proclamation recognizing El Paso County's proud Western heritage. Whereas El Paso County is proud of our Western history and culture and recognizes how our past continues to shape the Pikes Peak region. And whereas events such as the Colorado Springs Western Street Breakfast, the Pikes Peaker Bus Rodeo, and the El Paso County Fair preserve and promote our wonderful heritage. And whereas on June 20, 2024, the annual Colorado Springs Western Street Breakfast along Tejon Street at Pikes Peak Avenue will once again bring the community together for a fun-filled send-off for the Pikes Peak Range Riders, whose annual ride across Pikes Peak is a cherished community tradition that serves to promote the Pikes Peaker Bus Rodeo as a wonderful centerpiece of summer and an important economic driver for the entire region. And whereas the Pikes Peaker Bus Rodeo was started in 1937 by Spencer Penrose, an El Paso County pioneer whose legacy includes the Broadmoor Hotel, the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, the Broadmoor Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, and the ongoing philanthropic contributions of the El Palmar Foundation. And whereas the 83rd Pikes Peaker Bus Rodeo is one of the nation's oldest and most prestigious rodeos, with performances running from July 9 through July 13, 2024. And whereas the El Paso County Fair is celebrating its 119th anniversary when it opens July 13 and runs until July 20, 2024 at the county fairgrounds in Calhan. And whereas the values defined by the Pikes Peak Range Riders, the Cowboy Way, and the Old West are equally relevant today and shared through community gatherings, equestrian events, rodeos, and parades, events that are woven into the fabric of El Paso County and the Pikes Peak region. Now, therefore, the Board of El Paso County Commissioners, in recognition of upcoming events celebrating our Western heritage, urges local businesses to join various county departments and elected offices in encouraging employees to take part in these special events and wear Western attire on the days of the events. On this 4th day of June 2024 at Colorado Springs, Colorado, the Board of County Commissioners of El Paso County, Colorado signed Cami Bremer, Chair, Carrie Geithner, Vice Chair, Lojinos Gonzalez Jr., Stan Vanderwerf, and Holly Williams, members, and attested to by Steve Schleicher, County Clerk and Recorder.
Second.
That has been moved and seconded. If any of you here in the audience are here to speak on this proclamation, we would love to hear you at this time. Good morning.
Thank you, County. Thank you, Commissioner Gonzalez, for reading that. I'm Harvey Freeman with the Pikes Peak Range Riders, the president this year. This is our 76th ride that we're doing. We started in 1949 to promote Western heritage and just promote the Pikes Peaker Bus Rodeo. So as most of you know, we started with 43 riders that rode out of Colorado Springs, rode up to Woodland Park and kind of told the smaller towns, hey, come down to our rodeo. And so we also have a facility out north of Falcon called Latigo that we let youth and organizations use that for a free or discounted rate. We invite the Boys and Girls Club out in July for a day on the range so they can learn how to saddle a horse, or at least experience saddling a horse, milking a cow, shearing a sheep, to keep that cowboy way of life around. So with me today, I have Chris Whitney, which is the president of the Pikes Peaker Bus Rodeo. And then follow that, Corliss Palmer will introduce the Girls of the West. Thank you for your time.
Mr. Whitney.
Thank you for the proclamation. I am Chris Whitney. I'm the president of the Pikes Peaker Bus Rodeo this year. Great to see you all. Great to hear the proclamation. This is an exciting time of year for us, at least, and I hope for the whole area. So this is our 83rd rodeo, so we've been around a while. And I think, as everybody here knows, we really have two missions. One is to preserve Western heritage and culture, which is important to us. This is not Connecticut, and we don't want it to be. So we're happy to promote that heritage. And the second, and equally important, perhaps more important actually, given our history since 1937, is to raise funds to improve quality of life initiatives for active duty military families stationed in El Paso County. So 100% of the net proceeds of every rodeo since 1940 some odd, we took a break during the Second World War, has gone to that end. So we take great pleasure in October in distributing checks to military installations and commands and groups throughout the Pikes Peak region, and that's what we're all about, and that's why we do it. We have about 600 volunteers that make this work in any given year, some civilian, some military. And a couple of years ago, you will remember that we took a giant leap in terms of our scope and reach in the rodeo community, but not just in the rodeo community, all across the United States, when we partnered with the PRCA, the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association, whose home is also here, as you know, and put on 2 years ago the first NFR Open at the Pikes Peak Bus Rodeo. This makes us a huge rodeo. Thank you, Commissioner Gonzalez. It is a huge rodeo. The eyes of the rodeo world are on this event now, every year, without a doubt. We have contestants, about 200 of them, from 12 professional rodeo circuits in the United States, one from Canada, and we have champions from Mexico who participate with us. We used to do 5 performances over 4 days. We've expanded to 7 performances over 5 days. So it's a significant contributor to what's going on in El Paso County, and a lot of people see it and are happy to be a part of it. As was mentioned, the rodeo dates this year are July 9 through 13. And we expect, last year if you give us a rounding error, we sold out close. You know, and the way numbers work, who knows, very close. And we're hoping we will sell out again this year because it's a very simple proposition. We want to put on something that everybody's proud of and enjoys, and we want to put on something that makes as much money as possible for us to distribute to our military friends in the community. We're supported by thousands of people in the community, including yourselves, which we greatly appreciate. And now that Harvey and I are done with the dry details and serving as the warm-up act for what really matters today, I will turn it over to Corliss and the Girls of the West. If you don't enjoy these people, there's something really wrong with you. So thank you very much.
Good morning. Thanks for having us here. It's always a great pleasure for us to come to the El Paso County Commissioners. I'm Corliss Palmer, and I've been a 23-year volunteer for the Pikes Peak Bus Rodeo as director of the Girls of the West. It's one of the best jobs in the country, really, but I'm thrilled. I schedule and escort them to 150 appearances every year. The Girl of the West program started in 1922, so we're celebrating 102 years of the program, and it's better and more busy than ever. The first Girl of the West was Dawn Norris in 1922. The Girl of the West is a 2-year commitment, has been for many years. The Girl of the West is chosen, the aide to Girl of the West is chosen at this year's rodeo on July 11th, and we'll take over next year. We're changing our program as of next year. This is actually the last aide we will have. We're going to just a Girl of the West, following the Miss Rodeo America and Miss Rodeo Colorado programs of one girl. So that's what's gonna happen. Today we have some rodeo posters out on the desk in the lobby and some brochures. If you can pass those out to your people in your community, that would be great. I'll introduce the girls. McKenna Norton is the 2024 Girl of the West. She's the 20-year-old daughter of Jeff and Kristen Norton. She has been involved in many equestrian events over her lifetime. The Hunter Jumper Association in Colorado, the Interscholastic Equestrian Association, jumping. She did that for 12 years maybe, and then switched to Western to become the Girl of the West. She's also served as the 2022 El Paso County Fair Queen. She's studying communications at the University of Wyoming. She hopes to use her career of study to continue working in the rodeo events. When she's not busy with the Girl of the West program, she enjoys her family and dogs and riding her horses. Annika Normandy is the 2024 Aide to Girl of the West. She's the daughter of Kristen Stites, 18-year-old daughter of Kristen Stites and Rich Normandy. She was a member of El Paso County Hearts and Hooves 4-H Club for 8 years. She was also a member of the Pikes Peak Rangerettes and was their captain in 2022. She was one of her best equine accomplishments was the APHA Youth Champion at the 2023 Western Stock Show in Denver. She currently attends Colorado State University studying communications, and her parents are both active military. Well, her dad just retired, but he's been in the Air Force and her mom's been in the U.S. Navy. Please enjoy the Girls of the West.
Hi, I'm McKenna, the Girl of the West.
And I'm Annika, Aide to Girl of the West.
We serve as the proud ambassadors of the Pikes Peak or Bust Rodeo, and we are so excited to let you know that pro rodeo cowboys and cowgirls from across the U.S., Canadian circuits, and champions from Mexico will all be heading to Colorado Springs, July 9th through the 13th. With over $1 million in payouts, they'll be competing to win. This is where champions and careers are made. The speed, the excitement, there's no better place to be than at the NFR Open at the Pikes Peak or Bust Rodeo. Over 200 contestants will bring their talents to the scenic and historic Norris Penrose Event Center to compete in bareback riding, breakaway roping, steer wrestling, team roping, saddle bronc riding, tie-down roping, barrel racing, and bull riding. The finals will be held Saturday night, July 13th, when the National Circuit champions will be crowned.
I'd like to take a minute to let you know that the Pikes Peak or Bust Rodeo is a very special event to me, and I know it is for McKenna and her family too. It's important to us because of everything that it stands for, representing our Western heritage and values, hosting one of the top professional rodeos in the country, and most of all, giving back to our local military and their families. So I'm grateful to be representing this legacy event that brings people together to celebrate all that is good about our country and the growing sport of professional rodeo, all while honoring the services and sacrifices made by our military and their families. Our local military are honored at each performance. U.S. Army, SMDC, and MDA on Tuesday evening. Fort Carson 4th Infantry Division on Wednesday evening. First Responders and 302nd Airlift Wing on Thursday evening. Guard Reserve units and educators at the Friday matinee. Space Night on Friday night. The United States Air Force Academy at the Saturday matinee. And NORAD US Northcom on Saturday evening. The Pikes Peak or Bust Rodeo has been proudly giving back to our local military and their families since 1946.
Proud indeed, Annika. I can say without a doubt that this year's rodeo is going to be incredible. Every minute of every performance. The NFR Open at the Pikes Peak or Bust Rodeo is held July 9th through the 13th, with evening performances Tuesday through Saturday and matinee performances on Friday and Saturday. Evening performances will begin at 7 p.m., with matinee performances starting at noon. Grounds open at 10 a.m. for matinee performances and 4 p.m. for evening performances. There's tons to do before the rodeo begins, with lots of vendors for shopping, lots of options to grab a bite to eat or something to drink, and plenty of fun to be had in the fan zone, for kids and grown-ups too. If you want to skip the traffic, and who doesn't, then you can leave the driving to us and take our free luxury shuttles. Just park at the garage at Costella and Tejon, it's free, and our shuttles will bring you and your family to the rodeo and back to your car after the rodeo, or even after some fun in the Coors Roadhouse Saloon.
Each performance starts with the Pikes Peak Range Rider Pivots and Pikes Peak Range Rat Drill teams, followed by the El Paso County Sheriff's Office Mounted Patrol Unit. Then it's top rodeo action and then some, as well as fan favorite mutton busting. We all love to watch these fierce kiddos give it their all at hopes of winning a trophy and a medal. Plus, our specialty act this year is amazing. Jessica Blair Folks and Dusty Dixon are the best trick riders in the nation. They are thrilling to watch. Then, after the rodeo, stick around for autographs from the contestants, the Rangerettes, visiting royalty, and the Girls of the West. That's us. Then live music and dancing await at the Coors Roadhouse Saloon.
I'm going to be watching for you to wave back at us from our awesome pink Ram truck from Perkins Motors. We'll be heading out all over town to promote our rodeo at businesses, military installations, and community events, and stopping by our generous sponsors who help make this event possible. And speaking of community events, I hope to see you all bright and early on June 20th at the annual Colorado Springs Western Street Breakfast and the official send-off for the Pikes Peak Range Riders annual ride. I'm counting on seeing each of you at this year's rodeo. The dates again are Tuesday, July 9th through Saturday, July 13th. Save time and get the best pricing by buying your tickets online at pikespeakerbus.org. And check out our website for more information and to make your rodeo experience a great one. The NFR Open at the Pikes Peak or Bust Rodeo is for the true fan, the first timer, and everyone in between. It's rodeo time. The NFR Open at the Pikes Peak or Bust Rodeo is July 9th through the 13th at the Norris Penrose Event Center in Colorado Springs. See you there.
Thank you very much, ladies. You know, often we do these proclamations and then the organizations that are here representing, we kind of have to prompt them to promote the actual event and some details of it. And to use this opportunity to do that, you guys have that down. Thank you very much. Okay, are there any other members of the public here to speak on this proclamation today? Thank you, ladies. Okay, any comments from commissioners? Commissioner Williams.
Thank you. It's always very exciting to have you. So it's good to see McKenna 2 years in a row. Thank you.
Commissioner Geithner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you so much for being here this morning. This is always a highlight of the summer, I know, for all of us. The opportunity to celebrate Western heritage and all of the fantastic events that come along with the summer of celebrating that are truly a joy. You know, we talk about Western heritage, and I have to tell you that I am so proud to be a Coloradan. But I came from Florida, and my first introduction was a little rodeo called the Silver Spurs, if you're familiar with that in Florida. But one thing that I think is really neat is the reason that I was drawn to Colorado, and my husband and I stayed here after being stationed at Fort Carson, is because the values, the family values, the Western values are so in alignment with something that is, I think, unifying around the country when we meet rural folks. And so I think it was one of the huge reasons that drew us to stay here in Colorado. The people, the attention to our military, the incredible way that we take care of those families. And that to me really is what embodies that Western spirit of taking care of each other. I really appreciate that. So I am looking forward to all of those events. I love being out at the fairgrounds, love being out at the rodeo. Thank you all for everything that you do, Corliss especially for your many, many years of service. We are so grateful for that. Thank you for being here on behalf of the Range Riders. If you have not visited Latigo, which is just up the street from where I live in Falcon, I highly recommend it. It is a great exposure, especially if you know, your family hasn't grown up in a rural way. It's a really important thing to go and understand all the different pieces of our heritage here in Colorado. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Vanderwerf.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. And I want to thank everybody that's here as well, and all the hard work you all do, dedicating really a large part of your lives to support the Western way, to support the Western heritage in Colorado. It's a wonderful thing. And it reminds me of some important values that I hold, and it's one of the reasons why I always love to be part of these experiences. But you know, the Western way, Western heritage, what we do in Colorado, it's about honesty and integrity, hard work, love of country, family, and faith, and so many other great words that you can think of. These really have meaning. And the Western way, our Western heritage, the Pikes Peak and Bust Rodeo, all of our participants, and the fair, this NFR Open, I think all speak to this kind of heritage, about the good things about America. It's a great thing for all of us to remember. So just thank you, everybody, for being here. I look forward to voting on this proclamation. And then I'm sure that we'll take a picture afterwards. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Okay. You know, I mean, I think that my colleagues have said it very well. It's not just about the external, the Western wear, the spirit wear, as I called it earlier, or the cowboy hats, or necessarily even the wonderful events like the rodeo and the pancake breakfast. It is about the values that drive community. And that is why we're all here. We are impacting our community in a way that draws upon those values. And that's why your county commissioners still take the time and the effort to make sure that we're recognizing this each year as well. It's such a huge part of what does make this community, and we can do all the policy making, our heart's desire up here. And at the end of the day, if our citizenry is not bound together by some common values and a willingness to get together in community and share, then it's probably all for naught. So with that being said, we will continue our tradition of having our sponsor who read the proclamation finish up with comments.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And so I just want to thank everybody for coming out, all the guest speakers, and thank you so much. You ladies were perfect, I think, on the speech, as you always are. And so I appreciate all this. And as was already mentioned, really just thinking about the Western heritage, the cowboy way, and really not just the culture, but the values that it brings and reminds us a way of living that we should take to heart. And let's treat our brothers and sisters in the same way that we would expect others from that cowboy way. So it's so great to see everybody here to highlight this today. And I think I tell the story almost every year, if not every year, but it's the last year I get to tell it from the dais. So I'm going to say it one last time. So I just moved back 12 years ago, but I did go to college here. And so I remind people, or I like to tell the story, is like when I went through the Air Force Academy, my freshman year, my basic, I only remember 2 things fondly from basic training. One was Chaplain's Day, and one was attending the matinee for the Pikes Peak Bus Rodeo as a basic going through the Air Force Academy. And so it's dear to my heart. Appreciate going every year and looking forward to going again this year and to all the other activities going on this summer for Western Heritage. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you. Okay, with that, we will take a vote. Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Van Der Werf?
Aye.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
Aye.
Commissioner Geithner?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. That passes 5-0. Congratulations. At this time, we will go ahead and take a brief break and do some photographs.